Just opening statements. Really good job by our defense. Obviously, pitching a shutout is huge, and we knew we were going to have to lean on them quite a bit due to the fact that I don't know anybody else in America that's starting two true freshmen on the offensive line. One of those true freshmen being Cam Elliff, who was a defensive lineman just 3 weeks ago, and a redshirt freshman in Mason Denley at the other guard, who was a defensive lineman in June. So hats off to the defense for keeping us in that game. And then obviously the offense with some short fields because of the turnovers and the really good punt returns, found a way to put some points on the board when it counted and really kind of closed the game out there towards the end and took the air out of the ball. So great team win. Best part about being 1-0 this week is another opportunity presents itself next week, and we got to come back to work tomorrow and get ready for Cincinnati. Don't roll your eyes.
Tom, you said all week that you didn't think
Is it on?
that your guys would need any additional talk or motivation playing an SEC team, but when you come out defensively and do what you did, I mean, message received, or I mean, how do you explain? It doesn't happen very often that you see shutouts now.
Yeah, in college football, that's a pretty hard thing to do in today's day and age. And again, there was not any fire and brimstone. I just reminded them before we went out to do their job to the best of their abilities and to play with a purpose, and that purpose is for the love and success of the guy next to them. And the defense certainly responded and played at the level that they're capable of.
Coach, could you explain the dominance on both sides of your line against Vanderbilt? Because you was basically giving them about 15 or 20 pounds per player, and really it was a schooling on both sides of the line.
Yeah, well, our culture is when faced with adversity, the only thing we know how to do is revert back to two things, and that's fanatical effort and your training. And we've got, in my opinion, the best coaching staff in America, and they train these guys. They should feel very confident. They're the best trained outfit in the country. And that certainly includes the offensive and defensive lines, and their technique and effort certainly showed that tonight.
Coach, for the second time this season at home, you were able to get an extended possession, this time finishing the game rather than just trying to move the ball along and score.
Yeah, I think you're talking about the turnovers.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Again, everybody wants to know what's the secret to turnovers, and really the answer is fanatical effort on defense, swarming to the football anytime that you can get multiple hats near or around the football and keep swinging away and hitting these guys on offense. The chances are the ball is going to pop out and cause fumbles, and then obviously you get pressure on the quarterback and force him into some ill-advised decisions in order to throw some interceptions.
They seem to do a good job of corralling Greg on some of those outside runs. So how would you characterize his response to that and the ability to throw from in the pocket, especially on the second touchdown pass to Ayers that he took a hit?
Yeah, he that was maybe his best throw of his career, or at least since we've been here, because he stood in there like a bona fide quarterback and delivered the football while he was getting hit, and it was a hell of a throw, hell of a route and catch by DA. But they did a really good job, you're right, of kind of containing him on the perimeter and making him be a vertical threat. And then when we threw the ball, there were some twist games up front too, which kind of closed off some run lanes for him too. So he had to sit back there and throw it a little bit, and he rose to the occasion. Is that Coach, your Halloween costume? You dressed as Grantland Rice or what? Huh?
I dress like this for most games.
Okay. Yeah.
Coach, that's who Sam is. Also, today, you mentioned often during the season, on Mondays and after the games, of watching Greg grow up in front of you as far as a quarterback of what you all are looking for what you all run. tonight was one of those nights that he just, as you said earlier, he makes adjustments. He's making adjustments a lot quicker now than he did at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, he definitely is, and obviously we got to correct the 2 turnovers. Really bad ball security on his part. That's something that certainly sticks in my craw. We were driving on both those series, and he turned the ball over, which is unacceptable. But he did make some really good decisions. We put a lot on his plate because of how multiple their defense was, and they do a really good job when the offense looks to the sideline. They check their defense, so we couldn't rely on a lot of the things that we do in terms of looking to the sideline and letting Major call the right play. We put a lot on him in terms of 2- and 3-play checks to get us in the right play, and he did a phenomenal job with that. I think he was, if I had to put a number on it, somewhere around 90% of getting us into the right play.
Coach, obviously winning breeds confidence, but have you seen this performance out of this defense kind of building up over the past couple of weeks, the way they've been putting in effort maybe during the week, some of the plays they've been making leading up to this game?
Yeah, and again, I go back to the way they're trained. Our defensive staff, again, is the best in the country, and we train really, really hard during the week. And our practices, even however long we started August 6th, and what is it? It's the 1st of November right now, and we're still going as hard now as we did in training camp. And these guys have responded to the way that we prepare and kind of our culture. And like you said, it was a build-up of, the last 3 quarters of the Central Florida game, played really good defense. For the most part against Tulane, played really good defense. And then obviously tonight, really playing a complete game.
Coach, on the nationally televised broadcast, prime time, everything like that, are you happy with the advertisement that the University of Houston put out there today?
Yeah, I think anytime you get an opportunity to play on national TV and showcase what you're all about and showcase the things that you've been working so hard to achieve and to instill in our guys, I think it's nice to let the whole country kind of see that. And it was a great, as you put it, a great advertisement for the University of Houston. Was battling some stinger issues. Got a stinger in the game against Central Florida, and thought he could go. He practiced on Tuesday and just was not himself. And so we got an MRI. It doesn't appear to be anything permanent, but he had a lot of weakness and tingling in his arm and in his shoulder, and just could not go tonight. And hopefully, with that kind of rest and treatment, the signs point to us getting him back next week. But we got to make sure, because those things, if you come back too soon, they just reoccur and reoccur and reoccur. And it takes eventually it's going to take an entire off season to kind of rest those nerves in there. The nerves don't heal like other parts of the body. It takes a while, and so we got to be smart with him. But I think him not playing tonight certainly helped speed up that process. Yeah, shoulder contusion. Sat him out for a little bit, got him, kind of rubbed it out a little bit, and then came in at halftime, got some treatment on it. I'm sure it'll be sore for him tomorrow, but finished the game, and I don't expect any long-term effects from that. Hang on. My man's had the mic for a while.
I know you talk about going 1-0 every week, but what does it mean for this program to be 8-0 with the last month of the season ahead of you?
Nothing. And that's not to be coy. That's not to be standoffish. It really has no bearing on how we prepare for Cincinnati, because the culture that we've instilled in our program is that we've got 14 one-game seasons, and we went 1-0 this week, and we've got an opportunity to go 1-0 again against a conference opponent next week.
Coach, the offense gets a lot of publicity, but how impressed were you with this defense tonight?
Unbelievably impressed. 4 turnovers and a shutout and 185 total yards. There's a lot to be impressed with. And, would we hold them to, what was that passing? 44 yards passing, and 12 first downs. That's a pretty good day at the office. Wait, up here, Joseph.
Tom, when your defense is playing that well and you go into halftime and, sometimes you may expect a lull or a lapse there and maybe you can't keep it up for 4 quarters. Those 2 drives that they had to begin the second half, I think one of them they were at your 30
Yeah.
and you get the fumble. And then the second one, the third down, the blitz and the sack to push them out of field goal range. What kind of message maybe did that send there that, what you carried over from the first half to that?
Was a little bit worried on that first drive. They picked up a few first downs on that drive, and but as was indicative of most of the night and a lot of the season, we rose to the occasion when our backs were against the wall and kind of reeling a little bit, and somebody made a play. I don't know who caused the fumble, but I know we recovered it, and that was a big play. And then, we pride ourselves on being great on first and second down so that we can turn the guys loose on third down and did a hell of a job. And that kind of, got us back in rhythm a little bit. You're right, Joseph, after them rattling off a few first downs there coming out of halftime. Good? All right, thank you. Go Cougs.